Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today's card I am using some Fawn products. That's not really different from normal, is it? I have the newest release Snow Globe Dog stamp set. I have Penguin Party. I have Meow You Doin'. I have Home for the Holidays. This one was the Simon Says stamp and Fawn's Stamp Timber exclusive. And then I have Joy to All. So I've already stamped out all my images. A lot of these are stamped over each other, and I have done some creative masking to stamp some of these. So I did that off camera mostly because I really wasn't sure what I was doing when I first started. Which I know is not the most helpful to you, but I struggled with this card so bad. I really wanted to use the reveal wheel, and because of the amount of stuff I wanted to add, there was no way that I could do it without fixing the front to be bigger than the reveal wheel is actually supposed to be. So I gave up and just decided I would do a non-interactive card. Now for my coloring, I am keeping everything pretty simple. I decided upon a blue and gray / silver color combo. So my tree is actually supposed to be white. I did try to add a little bit of a light BG color to it, but it really doesn't show. Because of this, I do go back in later to add a little bit more color to it. But for my colors, I'm using the B90s in various orders to get slightly darker and slightly lighter color combinations. And I've also used, I want to say it was B21 and B34 for another blue color combination. Actually, I lied. I also used B60 and 63, I think, for that slightly more purple tinted blue. So the reason I'm having a hard time remembering what I use is because this card has been done for over a week now at the time of me recording this audio. And every time I do that, I tend to start forgetting exactly what I did, especially if I have made other cards or I've been super busy doing some other crafty thing. Which, cards, no. Crafting, yes. Anyway, this card was inspired by Kate from Kate Crafts. She actually was kind enough to send me this new stamp set because your girl's broke. Christmas, birthdays, it's not a great time for money right now. But anyway, she obviously likes cats. She has a cat, and I don't usually use the cats. I got them. I think they're super cute, and figured that, you know, if I was going to do a card inspired by her, then there needed to be cats. And we all know cats and Christmas, you know, they tend to mess with the ornaments on the Christmas tree. And I thought that was a good place to start. And I thought it would be cute for this cat to be like playing with the little snow globe, because it seems like something a cat would do. Definitely knock it off of the stand it was on. And then, so I have my one little cat over there holding an ornament, sleeping with it. This one is obviously playing with the snow globe. And then I have another one wrapped up in Christmas lights. So I was just stupidly happy about this little table, desk, whatever this is, whatever you want to call this little end table. I was so happy to see this thing because I'm always wanting more furniture for my scene cards. For coloring this table, I found it pretty easy. I did keep the shading to the very bottom of the table, right underneath both drawers, and then underneath the very top of the table. I also added some shading right to one side of each of the drawers, and this gives the illusion that the drawers are popped up a little bit. I also like adding a little bit of texture, so I'm going to take one of my markers and add just some random lines here and there going in the same direction to sort of look like wood grain. And then to soften them, I'm going to go back in with a lighter color, just so that the lines don't look quite so harsh. For all of my images, I'm really just using the same blues over and over again, keeping in mind of where they're going to be placed in the scene so that I don't have all the dark blues together and all the light blues together. I also felt like I needed to add a little bit of blue-green for just a little pop of some other color because I didn't really want red here. I felt like it was going to be too harsh. I decided that my little candy cane would be like a wintergreen candy cane. And here you can see I'm going in with a slightly darker, but not by much, BG color for my Christmas tree. Now onto my background. I have cut out 2 large mini slimline dies, and I am inking up the first one with salvaged patina. And this is looking a little bit rough. I need to clean my brushes. Well, at this point I needed to clean my brushes. They're currently drying, so I won't be making any cards for like a week. And the next one I am going to ink up with Vintage Photo. I'm trying to keep it very light because I didn't want a really dark floor, and that's what this is going to be. Now to make my floor look more like a floor, I'm going to add some lines just to look like planks of wood. I did not measure these out exactly right. I thought I did, but I was also being talked to by one of my children at the moment, and that just never goes well. So this last one is spaced out way more, but it doesn't really matter because I'm going to overlap that top panel anyway. And next I'm just going to go in real quick and add the vertical lines so that it looks like planks. And then I'm going to quickly draw in some little lines horizontally to make it look like wood grain. This could potentially be bad for your markers. We've already been over this. I try to clean mine off, and Copics have they've burned me too many times at this point, so I'm kind of a little more careless with them, honestly. You don't have to be with your markers. You could always do the wood grain first and then ink over it. For my cats, I'm keeping them really simple and I'm coloring them in with some grays. These are some lighter cool grays, just adding my shading and then working out to my lightest color. For this cat that's sleeping with the ornament, I'm going to make this one a light gray as well, but I'm actually going to go with even lighter grays, which will still be some of the same grays I used for the other cat. I'm just starting out with a much lighter color. And for my third and final cat, he's going to get an even darker shade of gray. And yes, I colored the little mouse. He was a light gray. I didn't want to bring in too many colors. I wanted the color scheme very cohesive and simple. Now, I did feel like they needed a little bit of detail, so for this dark one, I'm going to give it a lot of stripes with just one of the same grays that I already used to color it. Going to go in with a slightly darker bit just to add a little bit of color variation to some of the stripes. I also dotted the nose with the darker gray. And for this one, I decided I would add spots. These don't look like any particular cats I know. I just wanted to make them all gray, but look slightly different from each other. Now for my background, I need to overlap my panels, making sure that they are completely straight when I do this so that I don't have a wonky card. And I'm going to use my grid to do that, and then I'm just going to add some washi tape along the back so that I can add some glue afterwards sort of flipping one side up a little bit, and then everything's adhered perfectly straight, hopefully. And then I'm just going to adhere my little pieces down. I already knew where I wanted these. Now, to make sure that that white patch above that cat isn't so distracting, I'm going to find a similar shade of marker to color that in. I also did the same thing for the snow globe where the floor and the wall is. So I found, I want to say it was a E50 marker or something like that that I used to color in the snow globe for the bottom part where the floor would show through. And then that pale BG10 or something like that for the very top where it kind of overlaps the wall. Now, while I was rambling, I have used a Wink of Stella pen to add some shimmer to my silver elements. I have added some white gel pen for some highlights, and I am adding shading to the floor. It's really the little details that help your card look more finished. Now, I have some Henry's ABCs. The reason I don't have the die set to show you is because I have a whole container full of die cut ABCs. I'm just going to take the letters for the word Meowy, and I am coloring them in with one of my B90 markers. Now that the main part of my sentiment is adhered, I'm going to stamp the rest of it. I have this Merry Christmas stamp from Toboggan Together, and I'm stamping it in jellyfish ink, which, unfortunately for me, the stamp was not just stained red, but must still have had red ink on it, because you can see the red there. Not a huge deal right here, but on the Christmas tree, it's hard to see. There is a little bit of red there, which was upsetting. But anyway, I'm just tracing over the letters with a Cricut pen in a similar shade of blue. Now, I probably had an ink that was that shade of blue, or close to it, but I just was being lazy and used whatever was in front of me on my desk, which is my Cricut pens. I felt like the letters needed a little bit more something, so I'm adding some white details here and there just randomly. I don't know what I'm doing. I just wanted them to be a little bit more of a focal point, I guess. Afterwards, I needed to address my little snow globe because right now it doesn't really look much like a snow globe. So I have a Wink of Stella glitter brush pen, and I'm just dotting it here and there. I know there's a stamp, but I really just wanted to have the freedom to stamp, or not stamp, place the dots wherever I wanted, in whatever size I wanted. So once I did that, I decided that my background needed a little bit more something, so I'm adding salvaged patina paw prints, and these paw prints came from the Meow You Doin' stamp set. I thought it was a cute addition. The little final touch that I needed to add was a shine mark or highlight onto my snow globe. After that, my card was complete. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll be back with another video soon. Bye!